Get ready for a deep dive into Sardinia, Italy.
Sounds amazing.
This is an island where turquoise waters meet ancient history, where rugged mountains give way to charming coastal towns, and the food scene is incredible.
I've always found Sardinia to be so fascinating because it's so distinct compared to mainland Italy.
I'm ready to hear all about it.
It has its own rhythm, its own language, its own culinary traditions, and a history that's as rich and layered as the flaky crust of a Ciatis pastry.
The Ciatis pastry. You've piqued my curiosity.
They're delicious.
Before we get to those, though, let's set the scene.
Okay.
Where exactly is Sardinia, and what makes it so unique geographically?
So picture this. You're looking at a boot-shaped Italy, and just west of the mainland, nestled in the heart of the Mediterranean Sea, you'll find Sardinia, the second largest island in the region.
Okay.
And it's a land of contrasts. You have the dramatic peaks of the Gennargentu range, some reaching over 6,000 feet, dominate the landscape. These mountains aren't just a stunning backdrop. They're home to unique flora and fauna, including the endangered Sardinian deer and the mouflon. Mouflon. It's a wild sheep.
Oh.
And they've roamed these slopes since the Neolithic period.
Wow, it sounds like a place where you can truly step back in time and reconnect with nature.
Absolutely.
But I'm also hearing whispers of incredible beaches.
Of course.
Is it possible to have the best of both worlds in Sardinia?
Oh, for sure. Sardinia's coastline is truly a masterpiece of nature, with over 1,100 miles of pristine shores to explore.
Wow.
We're talking secluded coves tucked between dramatic cliffs, stretches of white sand that seem to go on forever, and water so clear you can practically count the fish swimming beneath your feet.
You're making me want to book a flight right now.
You should.
I know.
And the best part is these beaches aren't just beautiful, they're incredibly diverse. You have the iconic La Pelosa Beach in Stintino,
Okay.
with its shallow turquoise waters, perfect for families.
Sounds perfect for a family vacation.
Then there's the wild and rugged beauty of Cala Golorezze.
Tell me more.
It's accessible only by boat or a scenic hike, and then you have the glamorous vibes of the Costa Smeralda,
Ooh, love.
where you might even spot a celebrity or two soaking up the sun.
Okay, you've convinced me.
Right.
Let's say I have 10 days to experience the magic of Sardinia.
Okay.
Where do we even begin?
Well, for a first-time visitor, I always recommend starting in Cagliari, the island's vibrant capital.
Okay.
It's a city where history comes alive,
I love that.
with ancient Roman ruins like the amphitheater, the medieval Castello district with its narrow, winding streets, and the bustling San Benedetto market.
Oh, tell me about the market.
Oh, it's incredible. A sensory feast of local produce, cheeses, and cured meats.
Now you're speaking my language.
I figured.
So how long should we spend in Cagliari?
I'd say spend a couple of days soaking up the atmosphere, exploring the historical sites, and enjoying the lively nightlife scene.
Sounds like the perfect blend of history, culture, and energy.
It really is.
But what about those stunning beaches we talked about?
Right.
How do we fit those into our 10-day adventure?
After Cagliari, I'd recommend heading north to the Costa Smeralda, or Emerald Coast.
The Emerald Coast, I love the name.
It's beautiful.
So tell me more.
Well, it's a stretch of coastline renowned for its crystal clear waters and glamorous resorts. This is where you'll find Porto Cervo, a playground for the rich and famous, with a yacht-filled marina and designer boutiques lining the streets.
So it's a bit out of my price range.
It can be, but the beaches are amazing and totally worth it.
Like which ones?
Well beyond the glitz and glamour, the Costa Smeralda is also home to some of Sardinia's most breathtaking beaches, like Capriccioli.
Capriccioli. Okay.
It has sheltered coves and shallow waters perfect for snorkeling. And then there's Liscia,
Okay.
known for its soft white sand and stunning views.
So we could spend a few days exploring the coast, hopping between beaches, and indulging in the luxurious vibe of the region.
Exactly.
Sounds amazing.
It is.
From history and culture in Cagliari to luxury and beach bliss on the Costa Smeralda, it sounds like we're off to a pretty amazing start.
I think so too.
But what about venturing beyond the well-trodden paths?
Oh, there are plenty of those.
Are there any hidden gems waiting to be discovered?
Absolutely. One of the things that makes Sardinia so special is that it rewards those who are willing to explore.
Like where?
Take, for instance, the Supermonte mountain range.
Gibraltar, okay.
It's a wild and rugged landscape of limestone cliffs, deep gorges, and hidden caves.
That sounds incredible.
It's a paradise for hikers and adventurers, with trails that lead to breathtaking viewpoints, ancient archaeological sites like the Tiscali Nuragic village, hidden within a collapsed cave.
A hidden village, you're kidding?
Nope. And there's the stunning Gola Su Gorpu.
What's that?
A canyon often called the Grand Canyon of Europe.
The Grand Canyon of Europe right in Sardinia. I can't believe it.
It's true.
I'm adding that to my must-see list. But with only 10 days, how do we make sure we're experiencing the real heart and soul of Sardinia? What about the local culture and those unique traditions you mentioned earlier?
Honestly, one of the best ways to connect with Sardinian culture is through its food.
You had me at food.
It's more than just delicious.
I know.
But it really is a reflection of the island's history, its connection to the land, and the warmth and generosity of its people.
I can see that.
Imagine sitting down at a family-run trattoria in the countryside, surrounded by rolling hills and vineyards.
Sound idyllic.
And savoring a plate of colugiones.
Colugiones, okay.
There are these delicate pasta parcels filled with potato, pecorino cheese, and mint.
That sounds so comforting.
It really is.
You're speaking my language now.
I knew you'd like it.
I'm all about experiencing a culture through its food. What else should we be adding to our Sardinian culinary checklist?
Well, you can't leave Sardinia without trying Prosecco.
Prosecco, all right.
The slow-roasted suckling pig.
Oh, yum.
It's a true celebration of Sardinian flavors.
And how is it cooked?
Traditionally over an open fire.
Wow, that's cool.
The meat becomes incredibly tender and juicy, the skin crispy and flavorful, and to wash it all down, nothing beats a glass of Cannonau.
Cannonau.
It's a full-bodied red wine.
Perfect.
It's the perfect pairing for the richness of Sardinian cuisine.
Okay, I'm officially craving Prosecco and a glass of Cannonau.
We'll have to make sure you try it.
Yes, please.
Food aside, there are so many ways to experience the unique culture of Sardinia.
Oh, like what?
Well, it's an island rich in festivals and traditions, many dating back centuries.
That sounds fascinating.
Take, for example, the Sortiglia.
Okay.
It's a thrilling equestrian event held in Oristano where skilled horsemen in elaborate costumes compete in a series of daring races and acrobatic displays.
Oh, that's quite a spectacle.
It is, and it's steeped in history, offering a glimpse into the island's ancient past.
I love it.
And if you're looking for a taste of traditional music and dance, try to catch a performance of canto a tenore.
What's it?
It's a unique form of polyphonic singing that's been recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity.
Wow.
It's a haunting and powerful musical tradition that will transport you to the heart of Sardinian culture.
Canto a tenore, ancient equestrian displays, and food that's as rich in history as it is in flavor.
Exactly.
I'm starting to think 10 days might not be enough.
You might be right. But let's focus on making the most of our time.
Okay.
What kind of itinerary would allow us to experience the best of Cagliari, the Costa Smeralda, and some of those hidden gems we talked about?
Well, let's break down a sample itinerary that gives you a taste of everything Sardinia has to offer.
Perfect. I'm ready to dive in and start planning our Sardinian adventure.
Me too.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to our Sardinian escape.
Before the break, we were mapping out a whirlwind 10-day tour, hitting everything from bustling Cagliari to the glamorous Costa Smeralda and even the rugged Supermonte mountains.
We were.
I'm already feeling like I need a vacation just to recover from all the amazing things we've talked about.
I know, right? But you mentioned something earlier that really piqued my curiosity. Sardinia's unique history.
Oh, yeah.
You said it's as layered and complex as a Cida's pastry, which, by the way, I'm definitely adding to my culinary must-try list.
Good choice. You won't regret it.
Can we unpack those historical layers a bit?
Absolutely.
I'm ready.
Sardinia's history is truly a fascinating tapestry, woven from threads of different civilizations.
I can only imagine.
Imagine a land that's been shaped by the Phoenicians, the Carthaginians, the Romans, the Byzantines, the Arabs, and even pirates.
Wow. Pirates. Seriously.
Yes, incredible.
Each of these cultures has left its mark on the island, creating a unique blend of influences that you won't find anywhere else in Italy.
It's amazing to think about all these different cultures converging on this one island.
I know, right?
Where can we see those historical influences most vividly today?
Well, you can practically trip over Roman ruins in places like Nora.
Nora, where's that?
It's an ancient city on the southern coast that was once a bustling port.
You can wander through the remains of temples, baths, and even a theater, imagining the lives of the people who lived there centuries ago.
What about other influences? You mentioned the Arabs. Are there any remnants of their presence?
Of course, in Alghero, you can't escape the Catalan influence.
Oh, right. You mentioned that earlier, the Catalan influence.
Which dates back to the 14th century.
Right.
The language, the architecture, even the food, it's all infused with a distinctly Catalan flavor.
So we have Roman ruins, a touch of Catalonia, and even pirates.
I told you.
It sounds like a history buff's dream come true.
It really is.
But what about those judicates you mentioned earlier?
Oh yes, the judicates.
They sound intriguing, but also a bit mysterious.
They are a fascinating part of Sardinian history.
Tell me more.
Imagine a period in Sardinian history, roughly from the 9th to the 15th centuries, when the island wasn't ruled by a single power, but was divided into 4 independent kingdoms, each with its own laws, customs, and even its own language.
4 independent kingdoms. It sounds like something out of a fantasy novel.
It does, doesn't it?
What happened to these judicates? How did they shape the Sardinia we see today?
The judicates were a powerful force in Sardinia for centuries, but eventually they fell under the control of various foreign powers, including the Spanish and the Piedmontese.
It's too bad.
It is, but their legacy lives on in the island's unique cultural traditions, its strong sense of regional identity, and even in the architecture of some of the churches and castles that dot the landscape.
So it's this blend of ancient civilizations, medieval kingdoms, and foreign influences that has created the distinct cultural landscape we see in Sardinia today.
Precisely.
It's like a living museum of history.
It truly is.
But what about the culture today? What are some of the traditions and customs that make Sardinia unique?
Well, Sardinian culture is a fascinating blend of the ancient and the modern.
I can see that.
You have traditions that date back centuries, like the canto a tenore singing we mentioned earlier.
Right, the UNESCO heritage.
Exactly. It's been passed down through generations and is still performed at festivals and celebrations today.
That's amazing.
And then you have a vibrant contemporary art scene.
Really?
Oh, yeah, with artists drawing inspiration from the island's rich history, its natural beauty, and its unique cultural identity.
It's amazing how a place can hold on to its ancient traditions while also embracing the present.
I agree.
What about the people? What are Sardinians like?
Sardinians are known for their warmth, their hospitality, and their deep connection to their land.
That's lovely.
They're proud of their heritage and eager to share their culture with visitors. You'll find them to be friendly, welcoming, and always up for a good conversation, especially if it's over a glass of Cannonau wine and a plate of delicious food.
Speaking of food, we can't talk about Sardinian culture without diving into its culinary delights.
Sure.
Earlier, you mentioned Prosecco and colurgiones.
Yes.
What other dishes should we add to our Sardinian culinary bucket list?
Oh, where do I even begin? Sardinian cuisine is a feast for the senses.
I believe you.
It's a cuisine that's deeply rooted in the island's history, its geography, and its traditions.
I like.
You have dishes that are hearty and rustic, reflecting the island's pastoral heritage, and dishes that are fresh and vibrant, showcasing the bounty of the sea.
Okay, my mouth is watering already. Can we get specific? What are some must-try dishes for a first-time visitor?
Well, if you're a seafood lover, you absolutely have to try frigola ai frutti di mare.
Frigola ai frutti di mare. Okay,
Awesome.
writing this down.
It's a dish made with tiny pearl-shaped pasta that's cooked with fresh seafood, tomatoes, and herbs. It's a celebration of the Mediterranean flavors that define Sardinian cuisine.
Sounds amazing.
And if you're looking for something a bit more unique, try botarga.
Botarga. What's that?
It's a delicacy made from cured fish roe.
Interesting.
It has a salty, intense flavor that's truly unforgettable.
Okay, I'm adding that to my list, even though I'm not sure what it is.
Trust me on this one.
I do.
But what about those ciadas pastries you mentioned earlier?
Oh, yes, the ciadas.
They're a true Sardinian delight.
I'm ready to hear about them.
They are crispy, fried pastries filled with sweet, fresh cheese, drizzled with honey, and often served with a sprinkle of lemon zest.
Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious.
They're the perfect blend of sweet and savory, crunchy and creamy, and they'll leave you wanting more.
Okay, I'm officially craving ciadas now.
You and me both.
But besides the food, what are some other ways to experience the vibrant culture of Sardinia?
Sure.
Earlier, you mentioned festivals and traditional music.
Right.
Can we dive into those a bit more?
Absolutely. Sardinia is an island that loves to celebrate.
I love that.
Throughout the year, you'll find festivals and events that showcase the island's rich cultural heritage.
Like what?
We've already talked about Sartalia.
Right, the equestrian event.
Exactly. But there are countless other festivals that offer a glimpse into the heart and soul of Sardinia.
What are some of the festivals that stand out as must-sees?
Well, if you're visiting during the summer months, you might be lucky enough to catch the Festa di Sant'Efisio.
The Festa di Sant'Efisio, okay.
It's a 4-day religious pilgrimage that's been celebrated in Cagliari for over 350 years.
That's incredible.
Imagine a procession of thousands of people dressed in traditional costumes, carrying a statue of the saint through the streets of the city,
Wow.
all accompanied by music, dancing, and a sense of joyous celebration.
That sounds spectacular.
It is.
What other festivals should we look out for?
If you're interested in traditional music and dance, be sure to check out the various folk festivals held throughout the island.
Okay.
One of the most famous is the Autunno in Barbegia festival.
Autunno in Barbegia, okay.
It takes place in a different village in the Barbegia region each weekend throughout the fall.
Wow, that sounds like a unique experience.
It is. It's a chance to experience the unique culture of this mountainous region with music, dancing, food, and craft demonstrations.
It sounds incredible.
It is.
Autunno in Barbegia sounds like a great way to experience the authentic side of Sardinia.
It is.
But with so much to see and do, it's hard to know where to even begin planning a trip.
I know, it can be overwhelming.
Earlier, we talked about a 10-day itinerary, but is that enough time to really get a sense of the island?
10 days is a great starting point, but honestly, you could spend weeks, even months, exploring Sardinia and still only scratch the surface.
I bet.
The key is to prioritize your interests and plan accordingly.
Right.
If you're a history buff, you might want to spend more time exploring the ancient ruins and archaeological sites.
Of course.
If you're a beach lover, you could easily spend your entire trip hopping between the stunning beaches along the coast.
That's what I would do.
And if you're a foodie,
Oh, that's me.
well, you'll need at least a week just to sample all the delicious culinary delights that Sardinia has to offer.
You're probably right.
I am.
There's something for everyone in Sardinia.
Absolutely.
But let's get back to that 10-day itinerary we were discussing earlier.
Okay.
Can you give us a little more detail about what each day might look like?
Let's dive back into that sample itinerary and paint a more vivid picture of what your Sardinian adventure could look like.
Perfect. I'm ready to get those travel plans rolling.
Great.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Our Sardinian adventure has been incredible so far.
It really has.
We've explored ancient ruins, wandered through charming towns, and practically tasted the salty air and the delicious food.
I can almost smell those Cietas pastries now.
Me too. But before we get too carried away with the culinary delights,
Okay.
I want to make sure I'm fully prepared to experience all that Sardinia has to offer.
Good idea.
What are some essential tips or insights you'd share with someone planning their first trip to this Mediterranean paradise?
Well, first things first, embrace the slower pace of life in Sardinia.
That sounds nice.
It really is.
I feel like I need that right now.
I know what you mean.
So slow down and relax. Got it.
Exactly. It's an island where people take the time to savor the simple things, like a good conversation over a cup of coffee, a leisurely lunch with family and friends, or a stroll along the beach as the sun sets.
That sounds so idyllic.
It is.
Any other tips for experiencing the authentic side of Sardinia?
Don't be afraid to venture off the beaten path.
Okay.
Rent a car and explore the winding roads that lead to hidden beaches, charming villages, and breathtaking viewpoints.
I love that idea.
It's the best way to discover the real Sardinia.
You'll be amazed by the hidden gems you'll discover when you step outside of the tourist hotspots.
I'm sure of it.
Okay, I'm definitely adding rent a car and get lost to my Sardinian to-do list.
Good choice.
What about communication?
Right.
Should I brush up on my Italian before I go?
Well, while Italian is the official language, you'll find that many Sardinians also speak their own distinct language, which we talked about earlier.
Right, the unique Sardinian language.
Exactly.
But you said most people in tourist areas speak English.
Yes, don't worry. If you don't speak Italian or Sardinian, most people in the tourist areas also speak English, and you'll find that a smile and a willingness to try a few phrases in the local language go a long way.
That's good to know.
It is.
It's always helpful to learn a few basic phrases, even if it's just buongiorno and grazie. But what about practical matters, like transportation?
Sure.
What's the best way to get around the island?
Renting a car is definitely the most convenient way to explore Sardinia at your own pace.
Okay.
It gives you the freedom to discover hidden gems, venture off the beaten path, and really experience the island's diverse landscape.
That makes sense.
However, if you're not comfortable driving, there are also reliable bus and train services that connect the major towns and cities.
So we have options.
You do.
Rent a car for maximum flexibility or hop on a bus or train for a more relaxed approach.
Exactly.
What about accommodations?
Sure.
What kind of lodging options are available in Sardinia?
Well, Sardinia caters to every taste and budget.
I like the sound of that.
You have everything from luxurious resorts and 5-star hotels to charming bed and breakfasts cozy guest houses and agritourism.
Right. Those rural farm stays where you can experience the authentic Sardinian way of life.
Exactly.
And agriturismo sounds like an amazing experience.
They are.
I'm all about immersing myself in the local culture.
I knew you would be.
But I'm also wondering about the best time to visit Sardinia.
Okay.
When should I book that flight to ensure I have the best possible experience?
The best time to visit Sardinia really depends on your preferences.
That makes sense.
If you're looking for warm weather and sunshine, the summer months from June to September are ideal.
Of course.
But be prepared for crowds and higher prices during peak season.
Right, I'd probably want to avoid the crowds, if possible.
If you prefer milder temperatures and fewer crowds, the shoulder seasons, spring and fall, are excellent choices.
Okay.
You'll still have plenty of sunshine and warm weather, but the beaches will be less crowded, and you'll find better deals on accommodations.
That's helpful. I'm leaning towards spring or fall for a more relaxed experience.
I think that's a wise choice.
What about activities?
Sure.
We've talked about beaches, history, and culture.
Right.
But what other adventures await in Sardinia?
Well, Sardinia is an island that truly offers something for everyone.
I'm excited to hear more.
If you're an outdoor enthusiast, there are endless opportunities for hiking, biking, kayaking, sailing, and even rock climbing.
Wow, rock climbing, that's adventurous.
It is.
What are some of the best spots for these activities?
Well, the Supramonte Mountains are a paradise for hikers.
I bet.
With trails that lead to breathtaking viewpoints, hidden canyons, and ancient archaeological sites.
Sounds incredible.
And the coastline is perfect for kayaking and sailing.
Of course, with all those hidden coves and pristine beaches to explore.
Exactly.
Okay, so we have mountains, beaches, and endless outdoor activities.
Much.
What about shopping?
Oh, yes, of course.
Are there any unique souvenirs or local products I should be on the lookout for?
Well, Sardinia is known for its beautiful crafts, so be sure to check out the local ceramics, textiles, and jewelry.
Oh, I love that kind of stuff.
You'll find unique and handcrafted pieces that are perfect souvenirs to take home.
Okay, I'll definitely be checking those out.
And of course, don't forget to sample the local culinary delights,
Well, how could I forget?
like the delicious pecorino cheese, the flavorful honey, and the aromatic myrto liqueur.
Pecorino cheese, honey, and myrtle liqueur.
Oh.
I'm already making a mental shopping list. But as we wrap up our deep dive into Sardinia, is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
Well, just go with an open heart, a sense of adventure, and a willingness to embrace the unexpected.
I like that.
Sardinia is an island that will captivate your senses, nourish your soul, and leave you with memories that will last a lifetime.
Beautifully said. This deep dive into Sardinia has been an absolute joy, and I'm already dreaming of my own escape to this Mediterranean paradise.
I'm glad to hear it.
To our listeners, we hope this episode has inspired you to add Sardinia to your travel bucket list and embark on your own unforgettable journey.
It truly is a special place.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
you.